Did that last time.
Adam, welcome back. Ooh. There we go. Adam, welcome back, friend.
Thank you.
I'm going to light this Palo Santo when we get started. Bless the room, right? I love putting people onto stuff like this because someone will come and they're like, what is that? Oh, this is Palo Santo.
Smell good?
It does.
Smell good. Do they have different scented ones?
Be gone, demons.
Dude,
Demons be gone.
To say something, dude?
No. I remember one time I burned sage after I was like hanging out with somebody and they like immediately was like, why are you burning that? Because the idea is sage and smudging like cleanses energy of the space you're in. And if you just start cleansing the space you're in with people, they're like, there's that one idea. They're like, well, is it because of me? That's what I lit this earlier. My mom was like, is it because I'm in here? And I'm like, no.
100%.
I mean, it smells good, and it's just the Palo Santo brings good vibes. So we're here, and the vibes are good.
Cool.
I like this setup. This is a different setup. If you're watching, I don't know. We're trying it. We're trying it because I like this camera.
It's comfortable. You know.
Here we are, man. There's something I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm forgetting. Oh, it was last time my friend Noah was here.
Oh yeah.
He was telling me about these ghost cities in China. Are you familiar with this? What that is? A ghost city?
I'll take a random guess, but nuclear plates?
No.
Nuclear places?
No. There's cities in China that have been fully built. Like a fully built city, high-rises, buildings, but nobody lives there. There's no it's like imagine Philadelphia.
Brand new building?
Yeah, they're new. So the idea is like because of overpopulation and I guess the population in China grows so fast, or they expect it to grow so fast. So they went and built cities for people to live in. But all the real estate's bought up. You can't buy a house there. But there's some parts of the city, and like I'll throw up pictures in the video for people to see what I'm talking about. It's a ghost. There's nobody there.
So they
built these brand new cities. Yep.
People own them, but no one lives in them.
No one lives them.
So does it get mail?
Probably not.
So no mail goes there. So
also,
did you just buy? Are you just a rich man that bought an apartment?
Yeah. The idea is like
don't live there.
The idea is my kids will live here someday, or my family will live here someday.
Because it's so overpopulated.
Yes.
And wow, that's crazy.
Yep. And
They're
even
already buying houses for the future.
Yep. But no one lives in these cities because think about it. There's these. It's so crazy seeing the photos because it's these massive streets and massive buildings. Some of it's not even done. There's just like there's like lots of dirt and stuff with buildings around it. Not finished.
If you were to guessingly compare it to like a city now,
I don't think I could because it's so modern.
Is it like the size of Denver?
Here, let me see if I can pull up photos of this.
Because Denver, I can get around quick.
Dude, it's really interesting, and the pictures are weird because, well, you start thinking you're like you even if you wanted to live there, you couldn't because there's no infrastructure, there's no police, there's no hospitals, there's no like trash, sanitation stuff.
I hate to cut you off, but I'm having an OCD because of this.
What?
Because I don't know the one side's a good side. For some reason, I just feel like someone turned it, and I just keep having to check. Oh, you're still there.
We're using the makeshift mics until the real ones come. The pod mics are coming. It'll be worth the wait, bro.
So are they
voice crack
full around? Is that what makes them a podcast?
No, I mean they're just built for podcasting. So it's just a different shape of a microphone, and it's more.
So you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that, dude.
So it's any side of the.
Talk
mic.
like directly into it. It's just shaped different.
Cool.
So this is the ghost city.
Thank the Lord I won't have the agita.
Look at these photos. So people live here.
They don't
like
even got roads yet.
They're not even. Yeah, exactly. They don't have roads or
That's
anything.
Crazy.
So you can't even if you wanted to live there, you can't live there. Some spots.
That looks very new. It looks like they're still building.
Yeah, they are. I think it's Ordos is the city. O-R.
I'm gonna buy a place.
Yeah, it's these giant that's a city, but
yeah,
there's nobody there.
It's like
it's spooky, dude. It's like there's nobody there.
It's like a jail, bro, because they're all the same. There's not like it's not like cool buildings. It's literally the same building, but 50 of them.
If you're listening and not watching, like it's just think of like one giant main road in a city where there's buildings on either side. That's what this is, but there's nobody here. There's one dude riding his bike around. There's like fences everywhere.
And
It's completely
like,
empty.
To further that, it's like a utopian building.
Yeah.
Like they're all the same.
Yeah.
They all have
all
the
look
same
the same.
style.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Well, it's like that.
It's like cookie cutters. Like you just took your like eyedropper and Illustrator and just like cropped the building and dropped it 7 more times.
Just Command C, Command V, copy paste,
Right.
copy paste. Look, there's even like art and stuff in the city, but that's the thing. Like even if you wanted to live there, you can't. So it's just like this.
Can you drive through?
You know? I would hate to be a Chinese citizen. And be like, this is where my tax dollars are going.
Right.
You guys are building cities and no one's living in them, and there's like a ton of them around China. Here's like a neighborhood that's empty, just houses, but they're all the cookie cutter houses, all the same houses.
But
it's crazy, man.
You said that
they're spending money
people
on.
are buying these places, so they're not. What'd you just say? I'm blank.
Infrastructure?
No, I forget what you said, but they're people are looking at it for their future, and they're not spending the tax money on it.
Yeah.
They're not just spending tax money on it. Okay. You know, they're investing in it for their future of whatever, family.
Yeah, it's trippy, man. It's crazy how much money is out there and what people are doing with it. They're just building cities, and there's nobody there.
That's one. I mean, there's America's building things in Georgia apparently that are like not cities like that, but like kind of like camps, like
that scares me.
To like hold
like some internment camps.
I mean, I don't know if I didn't see pictures, so I don't know if they're like internment camps or if they're just like easy living, like
summer
a dorm
camps.
room. Yeah, right.
Summer
but
camp.
the idea is either that like they're gonna try and round up a bunch of people and stick them in there,
don't they call those FEMA camps?
Or they're like maybe they might, but
yeah,
they're
I've heard about that shit.
They're also like people think it's like a doomsday camp where like the elites are gonna run to if everything shit hits the fan. Like so, it's like these two different like.
Oh, okay, like a camp
like a genocide or like a for the elites. I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion.
They do some weird shit behind doors.
I
You know about the
be
Bohemian
surprised
Grove?
if both of them. Yeah, I've heard about that shit.
People at the Bohemian Grove, it's like a campsite where the elites go, and they put on robes and they pray to this giant owl statue. You can look this up. And they burn an effigy, which is like the likeness of a person. They'll burn something and sacrifice it. Yeah, it looks like a person.
It's like the size of a kid though.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but like I know Alex Jones snuck in and took a bunch of video of them doing some crazy shit at the Bohemian Grove. Ugh, it's crazy.
He didn't go to jail for that. Isn't that like treasoning? Or
Trespassing?
No? Multiple things. But
I don't know. He's Alex Jones. He had like a special reporter credential to get in.
I doubt that.
But it's also, isn't that free speech? Like, can't you, if I go...
Who out of all those elites, who do you think would have given him that ticket to get in?
Dude, I don't even know.
Who do you think would be that guy, like you could like be like, come on, Bush, like, why'd you have to give him the pass?
Well, here's the thing, bro.
Joke, which one of those guys do you think gave him the pass? And now everyone's like, you're out. You're kicked out of
You're kicked out. You're
kicked out of the Grove.
The Skull and Bone Society. No, dude. I mean, but that's the crazy thing too. Is like, who knows if the elites are not only like very powerful politicians, but also people we don't even know about. People that just have like hundreds of billions of dollars that like aren't on
the scale,
spectrum of being known in the culture. It's a lot of people doing stuff, and we don't even know who they are.
I was just talking about elite.
There's also people doing good stuff too, like Batman.
Yeah. I was talking about like elites, possible like elitist stuff and I just thought about this the other night with Miranda's dad.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about this girl named Jane Fonda, who is I don't know if you've ever seen On Golden Pond, but she's in On Golden Pond. And she was talking on the Howard Stern show, and she was saying how we're not going to have, scientists say that we're not going to have clean, breathable air in 25 years.
Why?
And that our oceans are going to be like full of trash. This is like and I didn't see the Howard Stern, but he was telling me this. And so pretty much what she's saying is the air is not going to be breathable. We're not going to be able to go outside and like breathe.
Yes.
And then the water is going to be shit, so we're not going to be like able to go swimming. And we might have like water in the house problems. And it made me think, and if this is in 25 years, it made me think about maybe, because like side effects of coronavirus happening is like people are like locked in their house in a sense, and they have to mass produce masks, and I don't know if you noticed we had a shortage in the beginning, but now
They
lot of
They
companies-
wanted all the health professionals.
right. So a lot of companies have changed their makings to masks. So like M3, they're making just shit ton of masks now.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever that company is.
3M.
And it made me think like, because there's always that theory that the elites know shit that we don't know.
For
Like,
sure they do.
Right, like they know
For
about
sure.
aliens if aliens are real. Like they know about all the
Check.
shit, but there's certain things they can't tell us because we'll lose our shit. as
Oh
humans.
yeah, man.
So like, a lot of people hate elitists or people that people think are elitists. Like these people might not even, or Jeff Bezos might not be worried about some of the shit, and people might not like that. But
Yeah.
like, you notice how a lot of the elites, you could say, knock environmental like problems.
Efforts
Yeah, you know, like I mean,
to help save the environment.
people would say, "Oh, Trump," but I don't even say Trump. Like just in general, there's just people that knock like environmental efforts.
Yeah.
And it might be because they know of these things and we're fucked regardless. Even if we hit the brakes now, we might still be fucked. So why even admit that it's real and just keep living like it's not, so that the civilians don't lose their shit?
Yeah.
Because if we all know we're gonna die in 25 years, the world would go ape
Oh
shit.
yeah.
So they keep it on the hush. They know the facts, and they just act like it's not. But they need to know if they're even able to handle it. So they give a coronavirus, which locks everyone down, just like bad air quality would in 25 years.
Yeah.
Makes everyone wear masks, so we start getting used to wearing masks around.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 25 years from now when air quality is bad. And we're not able to go do things. We work from home. We have Zoom is like booming now. Like all these video things are booming. Like they figured out how to get mass quantities streaming and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just a crazy thought that maybe it is a planned epidemic or pandemic,
people
like
think
people
that-
think. But I don't think anyone thinks that. I think people think it's a democratic push to like, or like a Trump push. Like they like politically point it one way, this whole like coronavirus thing, or it's a China problem or whatever they say. Like, I don't
Dude,
know
I'm
if
gonna be
anyone's-
honest. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this coronavirus stuff. I know that there's definitely something out there. People are getting sick and dying, like for sure. And if you have a bad immune system, you're at higher risk for getting it, and you
No
can
doubt
die.
people have died.
Yeah,
So it's not fake.
But it's
I never
de-
thought
yeah,
it was
it's definitely
fake.
not fake,
People
but-
say it's fake. That's even crazier to me.
people think that space is fake, dude. Like
People think the Earth is flat.
yeah, or the Earth is hollow. It might be, it might not be, but there's fishy shit about the coronavirus in terms of like what you
No
just
doubt.
said. It's like they're trying to prepare us and get us used to
Possibly.
the new normal.
That's just a thought that I had. I was
If-
like,
but
that
like-
kind of clicked in my head. I was like, shit.
The
that-
masks and the air quality is
Maybe.
definitely something. Because look at Asia,
Right.
their air quality is shit, and
Right.
wearing masks is a part of their culture. It's
Right.
new for our culture in America, so they're used to it already.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe that's just if. But I also, on the flip side, think that the evil and the elitists, if you will, air quotes. I don't think that like we have two options moving forward in this new Earth. Like we can let them take over and like, or we could try to actually fix the Earth and save it with.
Yeah, but how
doing the
do
right
we, how
things.
do we take over?
I think the light is just going to have to overcome the dark. And you know how you get there? Mushrooms. If everybody did mushrooms and ayahuasca, we would all be,
That's
everybody would be
said and
chilling.
done.
And seriously though, like,
It's the truth. I agree.
yeah,
No doubt. No doubt. But it's like
be no more boundaries,
no one's doing that.
borders.
You know, people they've been trying to push psilocybin medicine for years.
Yeah.
And it's still like, you know,
It's on its way. I was talking to my brother today, and he's like, "Yeah, in Denver, it's decriminalized." And it's like, well, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
If you want to start like a healing center out there, which is something that I've actually thought of many times in the past, and I'm thinking more and more seriously about it, is like having some kind of center where people can go and experience these things
you know, that'd be
under
cool.
the right environment with the right people to guide them through not only like psychedelic therapy, but
Yeah,
float
yeah.
tanks and massage
That'd be
therapy
cool.
and meditation and yoga and like
Yes,
Reiki, all these things that have at least, which are definitely some woo-woo, hippy-dippy subjects and topics,
you provide haircuts.
but they work for me. Yeah, we could have a barbershop as well, full salon,
I'll be there.
a doggy daycare.
I need one.
We'll start a cult. We'll buy a ranch. No, dude,
Call
but
it wild.
I think the earth is moving away. Like I think all those elitist people are going down. Like they're all going down, and like we're gonna emerge.
But how much power do they have?
They have a lot, but they don't have all the power in the universe. There's things.
You know,
There's
that's-
higher beings out there that
You know, has the most,
orchestrate that too.
like people argue this, but Apple has the most power. You don't know why?
Probably.
Because who do all the government people text? What do they use?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the database that Apple has could they could probably win the presidency as a company with all the dirt that they have.
Probably, dude. Yeah,
on the
yeah,
FBI,
yeah.
all this shit, bro.
Yeah.
They know everything.
There's this.
Maybe, and the guy died. So
What guy died?
Steve Jobs.
Oh yeah, he had cancer though.
Did they give it to him?
That's something that's always
'Cause he knows
perplexed me.
everything.
Is like
He knows everything.
Is like, how would you successfully give somebody cancer? Do you know what I mean? Because like you could always like stab someone with like a syringe with some shit in it or
they know
whatever.
shit we don't know. So that brings in that whole theory. If they know shit that we don't know, they can probably harbor a spirit and remove a spirit from the body. Maybe
They definitely can.
they can
I
probably
see what you're
genetically
saying.
engineer
So
cancer.
you're
they
saying-
can probably do anything.
You're saying that like technology has evolved to where we actually do have the technology to give somebody cancer,
Possibly, right?
but you and I, these
Civilians
have no idea.
And even the doctors don't.
Yeah.
The doctors might have been in school, been learning about cancer, might have figured it out,
Yeah.
and they might have either.
The cancer has been cured. It's just
But
plants,
they might
dude.
not have been. They might have been. Their books might have been stolen.
Right.
The books might have. Their apartment building might have burned down that night. You never know. Like,
Yeah.
or they're just like talk themselves out of it. And they're just like, no, like, you know. I think I figured out how to like. Insert cancer into someone, like harbor the cells, and like, not that like
You definitely can. Though.
they're studying for months trying to figure that out.
They probably figured it out
Their-
already, and they're
Their
not
old
letting.
friend from high school just said some shit. For years, he just wanted to get him back. He's gonna figure out.
I'm gonna prick you with this little needle, buddy. No, that's crazy though. I think that there's a constant war between good and evil on this planet, and the elitist thing is weird to me.
It's so weird, and I don't think about it unless I'm like in a deep conversation.
Yeah,
Because
same.
I'll ruin my day.
But it's
every
real.
day if I do.
It's real, man, and like
real questions at least.
it's coming to the surface, and it's some fucking spooky shit. It's spooky, the elitists that are running shit. But that's the thing. It's like all of that good stuff that we mentioned, whether it be environmental stuff, psychedelic healing, like all of that cure to cancer. It all disrupts their creepy fucking businesses where they're making they're taking hundreds of millions of tens of billions of dollars every they're just it's the greed and it's the money that's,
You know what's funny?
that's driving their creepy business, which is
It's-
preventing the light to shine. But
It's-
it's coming.
To compare it to something, their greed and their economy and like what fuels them is like a toilet flushing. It just all gets sucked down into this vortex where they're just free falling and they're just falling into it, right?
Yeah.
So like what they don't realize probably is that if they legalized all this stuff where they made these changes that we talk about, they
Yeah.
might be making actually more money than they are now.
Right.
But they're making so much money now that they're just falling down
Right.
where they're just falling with it.
It's a machine.
Why stop it and let it fill up if we're already just balling out?
Yeah.
So that's where like the politician like buyouts, if you believe in that kind of stuff, might come in where like you become president, help pass this tax pass, right, so that my business can pay less and so I can make more masks, make more profit,
Make
And then
more
I'll-
oxycodons.
and then I'll give you some money for your
For your campaign.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you $100 million for your campaign if you just sign no on this paper that, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's real, for sure. It's the
Yeah.
pharmaceutical industries because they create the diseases and then they sell you the cure, right? Like,
I mean,
it cripples their
I mean-
business if all that other stuff comes
Right.
to light.
well, it's kind of like, what do you believe about chiropractics?
I have mixed feelings about chiropractics,
I feel like I've never
just from my own
had
personal
it-
experience.
Right, so I never really had it done professionally in a place. But I feel like I've never met anyone that went to chiropractic, like a chiropractor, and is now cured.
Right.
I feel like it's one of those things where like you could go every month and they work you out and they loosen you up so that in a month you have to come back and they can do it again. So it's almost like a Band-Aid,
Yeah.
but they don't fix you.
Yeah.
They're just gonna,
Yeah.
now you come to us, now we're just
Yeah.
gonna make the whatever money off your insurance, because they
Yeah.
probably charge insurance $200 once a month, and now
Yeah.
they make crazy money every month, but they're not fixing you. They're just keeping you coming.
They want
like you're saying.
They want us to believe, as a culture, as a collective, that we can't heal ourselves with the power of our own mind and intention. People,
True.
that's why I try my absolute best to never speak ill of myself or speak of disease. If I'm feeling a little cough, I don't go, oh man, I just got this cough, man, I got this, because I feel like it exacerbates it.
I probably think I should probably try that.
Yeah, dude.
Honest.
There's people like, if you're listening, check out Dr. Joe Dispenza. Like, he's a perfect example of like just the power of mind over matter and the mind, body, soul connection. This man in the 1980s got hit by a car during a cycling race and completely destroyed his vertebrae in his back. And they were like, okay, pretty much, long story short, like you're not gonna walk again. And all these doctors are giving him these opinions, and they're like, you're not gonna walk again. And this man basically describes it as he just laid there, and with the power of his mind, visualization, manifestation, I guess you could also say, he healed his back. And he was walking in like 12 weeks. How do you explain that?
Well, Ryan Clark from the Steelers broke his neck, and he was said never going to walk again too. And he, you know,
how do you explain that?
His mind. But is it like, do these people have pre-existing just work ethics that are unbeatable?
I don't know if it's work ethic. I think if you work ethic in that the strength of your mind.
Right. So, yeah.
He said that he would literally sit there for like 3 to 6 hours and just visualize his entire, because he's a doctor, so he knows all about anatomy and scientific shit, like how the body works.
Put it back together.
He would like rebuild his spine in his mind's eye, and it would take him like hours to do it. And if he would lose focus, like 3 hours in, he would have to start over. And like, but with that intention and focused energy and like
crazy
positive visualization, because dude, like,
it's not the worst thing you could try.
It's not,
you know
man.
what I mean?
I've
like,
seen
there are
it
worse things, but just try to be positive.
It's just manifestation, dude. That's what it is. It's like you can create your own reality. You are the keeper of your realm, and like people don't know that.
I think people might get that confused with like, I mean, manifesting money is also a thing, but like
just manifesting anything.
Yeah.
Thoughts into reality,
guess, yeah.
Whether it be money or a healed back or cured of cancer, like you can do that. Or oh man, like.
Hopefully you just manifest goodness.
Yeah, but you also manifest bad shit. And I think it all depends on what your energy is focused on. Like if I'm having a cough and I'm focused on the fact, oh, I have a cough, I keep reinforcing that belief in my subconscious that I'm going to have a cough and it's going to persist. But if I have a cough and I'm like, I'm healthy, I feel great, feeling good.
Just a little cough.
Not even. No disease in this body. And
coughs never hurt.
You'll notice. But of course, like, that's the thing. So people who get let's use cancer for an example, because we keep talking about it. Like, I'm your doctor and I diagnose you with cancer.
Right.
All of a sudden, you go, I have cancer. My body is compromised with cancer. Right. And then, like we were talking about before we started recording, you have these experiences based on the past. You think it's the future. So most people, when they get cancer, they die. Right. A lot of people pull through, but a lot of people also die. So now you're walking around with this belief and reaffirmation that I have cancer, I have cancer, I have cancer.
So it's getting worse.
So it gets worse and worse and worse. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between reality, what's real and what isn't. So that's what I think. That's like what The Secret talks about, the book The Secret, which is all about law of attraction and manifestation. Like,
what if you have cancer and you're like, I don't have cancer, or you're the opposite of what you're saying? Yeah. But it just keeps getting worse.
That happens.
Right.
That definitely happens.
That happens.
Because I don't want to come off as like
right. There's more than one way to every side of this life. So there's any situation I talk about where there's multiple outcomes. Yeah.
I just don't want to come off as like I'm being ignorant to people with cancer, because like
many I don't think anyone
people in my family have passed from cancer, so I definitely respect it. But like, you know what I mean?
It's just the thought process, and you're saying about trying to think positive. You can't dwell on, or try not to dwell on the fact that you might have something going on in your life.
Yes.
And see where it gets you.
Yes.
Right. So I get that. I don't think anyone's thinking you're insensitive.
To flip it on the positive side, like if you are in a financial spot you don't like, that's why journaling is so powerful, dude. Because you write these things out, these thoughts out over and over again, and you repeat them and you like internalize them and you just like reprogram your subconscious mind.
So I journaled for the first time.
That's great. Love that.
It was Miranda, my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. almost pretty much forced me to do it, but I was willing because I knew I needed to do something, and I talk about it all the time, and she does it all the time. So I was like, you know what? She's offering me this option. If it wasn't for her, I would not have ever thought of it. Right. So I'm gonna do it. So she wrote like 3 questions down, like what are you proud of this year? What do you want to work on better this next year, or whatever? And did you meet goals, or what are your goals for next year? So, and I just wrote like, the first one was like, what do you?
New camera, folks. Sorry, I keep moving it around. But no, sorry. Go ahead.
She said, what are you happy about this year? And my answer was, I got more properties than I expected to.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. The thing that she said, or she asked me, what would I like to change? And I said, consistent schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's tough when it's raining, man, and you know
to do landscape work.
Right, and like I mean, you're your own boss too, so you got it. But you work inside, so I feel like technically you could work at 2 a.m. if you really wanted to, doing some of the stuff you do.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be mowing lawns at 2
I make
a.m.
loud noise and it's outside,
People
so
get so mad.
There's definitely a time frame. So just being consistent in that time frame.
Yes.
And pushing myself a little more than I am. That was my 2 things, and then the last one was goals for next year, and I wrote it down. But the cool thing that she did after that is she wrote short-term goals, long-term goals, and that really helped me a lot because those are the things that I could tell you every day what I would like to do for the next 20 years. That's cool for a business. That's awesome. Like, not a lot of people can say that. Like, wrap my cars this winter, tune them up, get them ready for next year. Like, and that's just regular business talk. You got the same deal, like update Adobe or whatever you might come through the lines. But when it comes to like crews and numbers of crews and how much dollars I want to work, and by the time I'm 30, like I know all that. I have that. That's goal. Great, dude. But it's always been right here. Yeah, you got to get it out. It's never been in front of me. You got to get it out of your brain. So she gave me it, and I didn't know what she was going to put on there. And it helped because she was saying that, and she was saying this before like months ago, but it's good to write things down and then almost throw them out. Because most of the time if someone says write something down, you're going to probably write down either the first thing you see or the first thing that comes to mind. And that first thing that comes to mind might be something that's been on your mind for a while. Yeah. So then you put it down and you throw it out, and it's kind of like it doesn't just erase from your mind. You can still think about it at any moment, but the physical nature of the body doing like ridding of it is kind of like gets it off your chest for the moment, and you kind of can like push on. Yeah. And it's still there, but it's not now holding you. It's it's gone physically. People say when you're really angry at somebody, you should write them a letter and then just like burn it or get rid of it, crumple it up. Always makes you feel better. I got a few letters to write then. Dear Grandma. I remember that birthday. 1997. Year I born. Oh, man. But no, it helped. It really did help. And I don't know if I'll ever do it again. If I do it again, it'll probably be because her or like... Yeah. Maybe. I shouldn't say I don't think I'll ever do it again, but... I'm a proponent. I might. I don't go to it. It's not my first mode of... whatever. I'm blanking on a word. I like journaling because it, for one, like you said, you get your thoughts out of your brain. You get to kind of map out stuff you want to do, goals, ambitions, tasks. It's all right there in front of you. And then it's also cool, I think, at least for me, to like keep track of that progress. I can open up a journal from 3 years ago and remember the shit I was learning and doing 3 years ago. It's like, oh wow, like in terms of like accomplishments, it's cool to look back. This 2020 journal. That one. That one. Yeah. Oh, didn't get that. Sometimes you don't hit them, but it is cool when you, especially when you write them down and in the moment when you're doing it, you're like, you're scratching it off the list. I'm doing this. The new journal method I have is pretty cool. That notebook that says Eric 2020 on it. It's a new method where it's split up into several parts. So there's a part for onwards ideas, ideas for the podcast and like YouTube stuff, ideas for, where I do like
I journal like the tarot cards I do, and just anytime I learn something new from like a course or a book, a section for that, and then like a goals and all that. But I like it, dude. I think it's important. It's also like a fun, creative. It's like you get to customize it and be creative with it.
Like a portfolio.
Yeah.
Of ideas.
Yeah. Because I was in art school, so I have a ton of notebooks and shit, full of sketchbooks, and portfolios, like full of that stuff. So that's just that for me. I think why it's so easy is because it's almost like I'm just doing that in a different format, I guess you could say.
But you're
it's like
writing, right?
It's like an art project for me.
Drawing.
Yeah, here I'll show you.
You draw some of it.
Especially if I do like the tarot cards, because I have like really pretty cards. I'll like try to draw what I see on the card, and sometimes it's not always great. But it's just it's cool to just keep track of shit as time goes on. Like here's a dragonfly. I pull a dragonfly card, or a dragon, or a spider. I should write a children's book. You know?
There you go.
But yeah, or
onwards
just
and upwards.
Yeah, or just like affirmations and shit.
Onwards and upwards. The two boys from where? The two boys from something that just thought positive, and made their shit go, and now they're like, you know.
You talk about you and me?
No, I'm talking about your children's book.
Oh, okay.
Onwards and upwards. It's
Onwards
the
and
two
Upwards.
boys.
It's about two little boys named Eric and Adam who sit down and start a podcast and talk about journaling. This is cool. 24,455. That's how many minutes when I wrote it.
How many people at the Eagles game last year?
It's like how many minutes I have left to live until like you die, the average lifespan. So right now, being 23, I have almost 24. I have 455 minutes left. Math's hard.
That's cool
minutes.
you say that, because I always wanted to maybe make a movie that was like people had like watches that had that on there, and they knew like some people are born with like.
I'm pretty sure there's already a movie out there about motherfuckers who have. I'm pretty sure Justin Timberlake's in it.
Suing them.
I swear to God,
I'm
they have like a watch, and it tells them when they're gonna die, and like you have to buy more time. So,
That's stupid. In my movie, there is no more buying. You got what you got. You just die. And you gotta live with it. You make the most of it. But then at the end, you have to come out and see. There's a big switch up.
Okay. Yeah, dude, journaling's important.
It's all a myth, and this one dude's been controlling it the whole time, and he's just wanting to scare people.
Yeah.
And he just gets them whacked when their time is up, so they think that they actually die when their time is up.
The programmer. What do you think about the simulation theory? That we're all living in some super advanced.
Anything's possible, so it's kind of broad. For me, it's kind of like, it could be, you know?
That's a good way to think about it.
I don't know.
Because that idea used to scare the shit out of me.
I don't think,
the fact that we could be living in a super advanced simulator. It's a scary thought. When I first heard it, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no.
Is it holographic code simulation? Or is it like a video game simulation?
Stay here.
Not moving? I have the CIA document. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. You showed me that. But I'm down to hear it again because it's about...
So, I have this declassified CIA document from 1983 titled The Gateway Process. And you can find this on Google. It's free. But I'm not going to... Because it's this thing... Every time I read it, I have to put it down because I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Yeah, in the microphone. But pretty much what the basis of the gateway process is a training system to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right brain hemispheres as to alter consciousness, moving it outside the physical sphere and ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. So,
quantum.
What that basically means in dummy terms is if you can sit and... Because everything in this universe is vibrating at a certain frequency, right? Even this table is vibrating at a certain frequency. The slower the vibration, the more dense.
So if it's a prettier table, higher vibration?
Probably. Like if it's made out of quartz.
But prettier is an opinion.
Could be. I think it has to do with energy, but like... Basically, if you can sync up the vibrational frequency of your left and right brain hemispheres, so hemisync is what it's called. Right. You link up the vibrational frequency. You can access these out. You can have these out of body experiences. You can access higher states of consciousness, astral plane,
astral projector.
astral projection, you know, even like some psychedelic type experiences.
Right.
Probably
Anything you want, really.
Yeah.
I feel like, because I feel like I've heard that if you link up, if it was possible to do that, you could be, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, it is absolutely possible because binaural beats, you could find them in the 80s. They didn't have YouTube. You couldn't just go on YouTube and look up binaural beats, alpha waves for sleep. They had like cassette tapes with it on there, and the CIA was doing these studies. So
They've been doing shit for years. That's what I'm saying. The elitists, they know
Yeah.
all this shit, man.
yeah, man,
You know?
that's what I'm
they
saying.
They know this shit.
So basically, then what the document talks about, and I'm not going to dive deep because I want you guys, if you're listening, just go read this. Suspend your disbelief and just read it because it'll
Question
freak
for
your
you.
mind. Go ahead.
What if they really do control everything, which they pretty much do?
Who was they?
The CIA and the elites
Okay.
and all that.
Okay.
All governmental outfits.
Yes.
What if they're sitting up there like, these motherfuckers have been talking about connecting your right and left brain for so many years. We're sick of hearing about it. So
Yeah.
let's just put this piece of paper out on our website.
Oh, so you're saying it's like disinformation?
Right. So they might just be like, let's just
be.
let's just say it's real, so they believe it, and people are sitting in their room, stare at the mirror,
Sure.
and try and connect their left and right brain for years, and then that's it.
How about this? Let me play.
Just a thought.
No, let me play devil's advocate because I
Right,
like this
please.
because I've sat before I read that document.
Right.
I've sat and put in binaural beats and astral projected. Like
I've never done that. I
Like
didn't know that
left
was
my
a thing.
actual body, and it's really crazy what I
What
experienced.
is binaural beat?
Binaural beats? So meaning two.
Right.
In one ear, if you just put one headphone in at a time, in one ear it's one frequency. Woo. In the other ear it's another one. Woo. When you put the headphones on, you hear them in both ears. It's woo. And then
Because it's trying to.
it's certain either alpha, beta, delta waves, like all these crazy
Right.
decibels, hertz, and different sound frequencies can help you access, I guess, different parts of your brain. So, yeah, man, I've definitely experienced out-of-body astral experiences. What happened was pretty trippy.
You
What
see
happens-
yourself?
No, they're different. That's
Okay.
definitely one where you can see yourself, like you're in your room and you can see your body sleeping in your bed. That's one way. What I experienced wasn't that, but what I experienced was I had these binaural beats in. I'm laying on my back, and what happens when you're about to like break through to that astral realm and like go into that dream world, if
Your
you
mom
will.
kicks the door and it says, "Do your laundry." I was so close.
So I'm laying there, and what happens before you get to that, where you almost like go into that realm before you break through, is you start to hear these vibrations in your ears outside of the binaural beats that get really loud and really intense.
You make me want to do
it. Louder and louder and louder. And the first time that happened, it scared the shit out of me. So I snapped out of it, and like I woke up and I lost it.
Can I tell you something real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
First time I ever did psychedelics
Okay.
was acid. Yep. And it was me and, not going to say names,
Okay.
but
Let's call him Steve.
Steve and Bob. And we were laying on this kid's trampoline,
Mm-hmm.
who you probably know. And he wasn't even home. He was away. And I was like, I just called him like, "Hey man, we're longboarding around right now. Can we just, take a break on your trampoline?" Because I knew he was away. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, totally.
So it's me and my friend. We're tripping. The other dude's not. He's a sober monitor,
The trip sitter.
right? And we're laying there on the trampoline. I don't even think we jumped. We just like sat down on it and we're just like staring up, and there's branches over us. So like the leaves were looking like really sweet.
It was alive.
First time doing it too. So I was like, yeah. And
You never seen
all of a
anything
sudden it was like just getting louder and louder, kind of like a shark was coming.
Oh my god.
And at like the peak, almost like what you're saying, almost like where it sounds like it builds up, it was just like branch snap. All of our heads just snapped.
No way.
Dead ass.
Wait, the branch on the tree snapped?
like almost like a squirrel stepped on a stick and it snapped.
Whoa.
And it was just like whoosh, and we're like all three of us, even the one not tripping, we're like just jolt, like snapped our heads, and then we left, not out of fear, but we're just like, all right, I guess it's our time to go.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's
But
like
it was
you, it's like you
that,
heard
it was like that build up.
You heard the build up to the event of the
Right,
branch
like I
snapping.
could feel like the tension in
That's crazy.
in the future. Like
Yeah.
like I felt like I didn't know what was coming, but I knew a storm was coming.
That's the dude.
But it sounds like
That's the
what
thing.
you're saying about binaural noise. Like the sound I heard
Yeah.
sounds like that. It was crazy.
I've definitely
Let
noticed
me just longboard.
on psychedelics that your brain, your consciousness is just like a step or two higher than just normal everyday living.
Right.
Normal everyday
'Cause
consciousness.
it's here, but it's just an investor. in
You're
this
just
world.
you're just a little bit higher up on the frequency scale. Your brain waves are probably vibrating at a higher frequency.
What,
So
when
you
you're
can on psychedelics. So you can tap into those things. I've noticed, full disclaimer, I've done psychedelics. Like they've helped me a lot in my life. And they could probably help you too if you do your research. But if you're listening, I've noticed several times on LSD and on psilocybin, you just laying there in silence and being able to hear the woo, woo, frequencies, not that loud, obviously, but those frequencies around you and in your presence, and even messing with your own magnetic field, because we're energetic beings. We have our own magnetic field, and you can like tap into that on these compounds. It's like they give you superpowers. They unlock parts of your brain, and that's really trippy though. That you like heard the tension
It's like the men who
build
stare at
up.
goats.
I've never seen that.
They pretty much. I've never seen it either, but I've been told about it.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, they stare at goats and they try and blow them up with their mind.
Really?
And it was like a.
That's what
I
that
think
is?
it was like a CIA thing. I mean, you could look up the.
It's a movie,
what
isn't
they
it? Though?
like-
Don't they make a movie about
No,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
So right, the movie is like men who stare at goats and they blow them up. They try to with their mind, and I think so. Like in the trailer, there's like
Oh
an
my
example.
God.
He says like, "What's in this drawer?" And the guy's like a pickle, and the guy's like, you know,
What
your
the-
shoes, and then the other dude's like a picture of a boy, with his dad, and then the other dude's like, I have no idea, and he opens the drawer and it was a picture of a boy with his dad, and like it's kind of like the idea of like where you can put your mind to anything
It's intuition.
and make it happen, like that door's gonna open right now, and then it opens, but like they practice it. Like it was like instead of boot camp,
okay.
they went to this army
I see.
training thing, and they like it was like a study / like they're trying to like be able to like send them out into like the Cold War and shit, and like have them do some mind shit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
Right.
if you
And
can,
I don't know like what the results were. I don't
that's
know.
crazy, dude. Our minds are very powerful, and
I think they were
especially
pretty powerful too.
Yeah.
and I think that's why it might have gotten backburner.
dude, there's definitely people who can like set shit on fire with their mind, and the CIA is like, hey, why don't you come work for us, buddy? We'll put you up pretty. If you get set shit on fire, people can probably do that. You see videos, I don't know how fake they are because the quality's always really bad in the videos, but you'll see like a monk and he's like, oh, and like does like some Super Saiyan shit,
I just saw
Dragon
some
Ball
shit.
Z, and starts a fire with his hands.
I just saw some shit where the dude stuffs his mouth with sawdust, like freaking ball of this shit.
Yeah.
And it's some monk dude, and he like puts a hole in the middle of it, and he just like takes really deep breaths and like blows as much air through it, like hot air as he can, and it starts, embers start showing up,
Oh my god.
and then he starts puffing out fire. And
Whoa.
some lady comes over with a cigarette and sticks it in it, dead ass. You would have thought it was a movie. Sticks it in it and
She
then
lights it.
lights it.
Wow.
But I feel like that's like something that maybe we could do. I think because I think he uses his breath. It's so hot.
Yeah.
He might
Yeah.
like hold it in for a while, like
Yeah.
do something with his. But he might do something with his energy
Mm-hmm. I
to
think
like
that's
heat
what that
up
is.
his body temperature to like blow this hot air to spark that. Yeah, I don't know.
It's their chi. It's like the idea of your chi,
They're crazy,
life
bro.
force, energy. Dude, here's the thing.
They're crazy.
I'm gonna say something. Magic is real. It's
I
real.
don't. No one's ever.
If
showed
we're
me
living in a
magic,
simulator,
bro,
if
you
we're
know?
living in a giant video game, like why couldn't it be? If
No one's ever
the
showed me
case.
magic.
I'm not
And
talking
I'm not
about
talking
like.
about card trick. No one's
Thank
ever
you.
showed me magic. So
I think it's something you
for
have to
me-
experience for yourself.
right, but is psychedelics magic?
I think so.
Then yeah, sorry, I've seen magic, but no one's ever showed me magic. Like someone's never gone like, watch, I'm gonna move this cup, and then now
think-
I'm like,
Okay. Okay. I think the
Do
term
it again.
magic is it's not niche. It's like very broad. Like it's magic in
thinking,
so many.
like-
I'm thinking of like synchronicity and being able to manifest things with your mind or set shit on fire with
Okay.
your mind if you can do like that
well,
kind of
that
magic.
kind of shit. Like I think there is a difference there between like synchronicities and making things happen with your mind, and then setting things on fire with your mind.
Okay.
That's magic. That to me, that's like I think before that, it's like I'm not like almost voodoo-y maybe,
Okay.
which is like a form of magic, I
Yeah.
think. But it's more of like that. But I don't know. I think voodoo would be more likely to set something on fire with their mind. Just like the
Set
doll with the
somebody,
pin.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Set someone on fire with your
like
mind.
they can do that. So maybe voodoo's not
I think
black magic. Maybe.
black magic's real. Casting spells on people and shit.
Right. So like that's magic, if you ask me.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. I
Not
agree.
that
And
the
I
other
agree.
stuff isn't. But
I agree.
Like, I feel like if someone said you're gonna go see a magic movie,
Yeah.
about magic, I
Think
wouldn't.
of The
I wouldn't
Wizard of Oz.
go. Like I wouldn't think I'm going in to see some dude do some card tricks.
Right.
I would see some wizards, and then some some poof shit.
Some Harry Potter. That's magic. They're
right,
wizards.
Exactly. Right. Then Harry's not like, hey, pull a card.
Was this your card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
No.
like, whoosh,
Yeah.
boom, you're gone.
But that's the cool thing about magic. It's like, it can mean so. It's like art in a way, where it can mean so many different things and be connected with so many different cultures. There's cultures all over the world that air quotes practiced magic.
Well, how about like these like cultures in the Amazon, where they like are fully into like all natural healing.
Yeah.
They use the aloe from the jungle.
They use the
They
ayahuasca.
use soups they've made to be, like almost magic soups. But in that,
You mean like ayahuasca?
yeah, I mean, ayahuasca. When they eat ayahuasca, they know they're not just eating cookies.
They drink ayahuasca.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
they
when
know what's
drink
good.
it,
They
they
know
know
what's
they're
up.
not just drinking water. They're not like,
Yeah.
ooh, this one got me a little weird today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm seeing a line over there. Are you seeing it?
For 12 hours.
It's getting closer, dude. No, it's not. It's crazy thing about that, real quick, is I heard that, and you probably heard this too, actually. If you go into a ayahuasca trip, a lot of people see
Jaguars.
jaguars. Yeah, and jaguars also snack on ayahuasca in Africa. So if a jaguar is on ayahuasca and you're on ayahuasca in Texas,
Could you
and
be
see a jaguar,
interfacing
are
in
you
this-
in the same dimension?
I've thought about that exact question and have brought that up to people because I think you are.
I think you. I mean, why the fuck else?
Your
are you
souls
seeing?
are there together.
Like that's the whole theory of psychedelics. Is it
Mhm.
opens you up to a different dimension?
Yeah.
Straight up. So,
Mhm.
no doubt. No doubt.
And ayahuasca is DMT, and DMT is dimethyltryptamine. It's endogenous. It's produced in the human body, and it's found all over nature. So,
Yeah.
if
And it
jaguars know what it
practically is nature. To
it
some
is
degree.
nature. Yeah, it's produced in the body, and it's all over the place. And that's another thing that most religions probably came out of psychedelics. And if you're new to the podcast, if you've been
Well-
listening, I've been talking about this almost every episode because it's just amazing how it's somewhat is all connected to
Think-
like the plants and the
think-
and the psychedelic plants.
Think about this, right? When do you think that we stumbled upon when do you think that like writing English, like writing language was first made?
Yeah.
When do you think, like years, 1600 or no, probably like, I mean, because they made like pictures, like we were watching those Anunnaki things. We were looking
Yeah.
at that. Like that's
Yeah.
thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
We'll go thousands of years ago, right? What if there was people that were doing ayahuasca and they were seeing visions and they were doing stuff, and then there's like a nerdy group of cavemen that were like, no, we're gonna write everything down.
Yeah.
But the smart guys, or the people doing the ayahuasca, are the ones that saw all the labels. So they are the ones that knew the language. So they would do it, learn the language, and then like make this where it broke off. Right. So now you have the people that are book by the book.
Mm.
You have the people that are taking this ayahuasca.
Mm.
They
And experiencing God,
they know,
right?
these people doing the book know that these people know the shit.
Yeah.
Right? But these people are trying to outdo them because they're they've not able to take the ayahuasca and they're not able to experience, but they know the language. So they're
Yeah.
trying to take the language away. Somewhere along that path, you hit the church
Mm-hmm.
and you hit civilians, right? People not in the church, but like to say that you weren't a Catholic back in the day was
Right.
like you were a Catholic.
Yeah.
But you were doing maybe ayahuasca or something. The first law on drugs was they put a ban the
Sweeping psychedelic act.
in Rome or
Oh,
not in Rome
Rome.
in the Vatican.
Okay.
The Pope put a ban on, or the Catholic Church put a ban on putting psychedelic mushrooms in alcohol because they used to ferment
Yeah.
psychedelic mushrooms in alcohol.
Yeah. Mead, I think, is what it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's not
They called it.
the absinthe. It's not absinthe.
Yeah.
Absinthe is just like something else. But and so the first ban was that so you weren't permitted to put the mushrooms and the alcohol anymore because no doubt they knew that taking the psychedelics was opening their mind up to a whole nother dimension that religion wasn't.
Yes.
So they have to shut that down because they want you to think that God and that's this, one direction is the way.
Only they can tell you about God. You can't experience God for yourself. I gotta tell it for
Right,
you. I gotta tell you what.
People that broke off and started writing the books instead of taking the ayahuasca
And change the books.
and right. And so then you have like this. Now you have this, where now drugs are so illegal. Like most drugs should be illegal. I'll premise all that with that, but there are definitely some drugs that should not be legal.
I think they should all be legal, dude. If I'm a grown person, I should be able to do whatever I want. There's
a certain aspect to life around you that you can't have. That's why alcohol being legal is ridiculous, because you on alcohol, you are in endangerment to people around you.
Mm-hmm.
With other drugs as well.
Yes.
And that should not be permitted because you're not allowed to drive faster than 25 in a 25.
Mm-hmm.
So why should you be able to endanger people with your car, or possibly with your car and with drugs and the car? You know what I'm saying? So, but I definitely think there are definitely drugs that are on the list that don't endanger a soul.
Here's the thing. I agree with you.
But you could trip too hard and lose your shit and
For
go
sure.
attack someone. So that's like, maybe... I don't think you're smoking weed and attacking anybody.
No.
Not even trying to
For the
be
most part.
stereotypical
Or
with
eating-
pot. Like,
No. Eating mushrooms.
I've gotten mad on weed, but
Killing
I've
people.
never...
I think the problem with making things illegal is people are still going to do them.
Right.
Marijuana's illegal. Mushrooms are
Right.
still illegal. People do them all the time.
Do you think people would be less tempted or more tempted to do it if it was legal?
I think if heroin was legal, me as a 24-year-old sovereign human is like, you know what? Probably not going to do heroin. Probably not going to. I could if
think
I want, but I
because-
know the destructive nature of it, so I'm probably not going to do it. But
But
it's there if I want
also-
it, but I'm chilling because I'm an adult and I can make my own decisions.
Think about people that smoke cigarettes and
Yeah.
people that don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
You smoke cigarettes, but you're open about it because it's legal. It's not
Yeah.
illegal. So, like, yeah, I smoke cigarettes, but I'm trying to quit.
Yeah.
Right? But if you do heroin, you don't tell anyone, and that probably sinks you deeper in the heroin hole.
Right.
If I had to hide
Sure.
smoking cigarettes from my family, it would
Yeah.
just like...
Well, you can't really compare heroin to cigarettes.
No, but
though,
it's the fact that maybe it being illegal makes people... So say I'm a heroin addict and it's legal.
Yeah.
My friends all know about it. Like, they know what the deal is,
Okay.
and I'm not trying to hide it from them.
Okay.
And yeah, I need to quit. So yeah, I'll go try and get sober at a hospital, right? It's like maybe the mindset towards it is different. It's not like no, I'm fine. Like I'm not doing heroin.
Right.
And then you are, and you're getting worse, and you're afraid to say you're going to rehab because that means you're admitting that you've gotten so far
Yeah.
that you have to, instead of like it being legal, where you can just be like, yeah, I think I need to go. It's too bad.
Here's something interesting too, because so you, if I was a heroin addict and I wanted to get off, if all drugs were legal, instead of going to a hospital and then putting me on like all these fucked up weird
maybe
medications, if ayahuasca was legal, I could go and have an ayahuasca ceremony, and it would
No doubt.
literally cure me of my heroin or cigarette addiction.
Yeah,
that happens.
probably both. At
That
the
happens
same
all
time.
or my PTSD. Like that happens all the time.
Right, but that's not. They don't allow that because
what
they
I'm-
know that's the case.
Because
almost.
they want us to buy. It's the
Right,
pharmaceuticals.
yeah, because
They want to keep us
they could
trapped in
cure
their
you
weird
now.
system.
They could cure you now for $100,
Yeah, and you're not a customer
or they
anymore.
or they can keep you on forever for $1,000 a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Yep.
Why not?
Yeah,
Because if the toilet's already flushing, bro, might
Yeah.
as well just go with it for
Yes.
them.
Yeah,
But we're like, no, I'm trying to. We're
Yeah.
not about this.
that's why I want to
what
open
can
up
we
the
do about
Onwards
it, right?
Psychedelic Healing Center, where we can figure out how to get people what they need so they can actually get healed of their shit and not keep being a cog in this crazy weird machine that
Right.
people fall slave to. If I get surgery and I'm addicted to Oxycontin and mushrooms are illegal, or another form of like holistic medicine is illegal, then of course I'm not going to risk. If I have a family and kids and I have a good job, I'm not going to risk doing the illegal shit. I'm going to go with the government provided medicine, and then I'm going
Right.
to get addicted to the pain meds, and
Well,
that's going to
they say
fuck
they're
my life
not,
up.
but then they take it and they realize what it is, and it's too good to be true, dead ass. And they're like, wow, this is too good to be
Yeah,
true.
I
They
remember
fall in love.
I got my wisdom teeth taken out, all four, and they prescribed me, I think like Perk 10s And I remember like being on them after the surgery and just slumped and thinking, yeah, I can see how these would be a problem for a lot of people because this is nice, but
I had mono,
whew,
and
it's
they
scary.
yeah. I had a I had mono. I didn't know I had mono, but they went to the hospital. They took my blood. I hadn't eaten for 3 days because my throat
God.
was so sore and so swollen shut. I couldn't talk. I could barely eat. I would eat like a lozenge or whatever, and like try and stuff as much shit down as I could in 4 seconds before it started hurting.
Right.
So I finally decided I'm gonna go. They put me on this IV. She gives me like this anti-nauseating shit because what was coming was gonna get rid of my pain. And he gives me the anti-nauseating shit. I'm like, I don't need this shit. Like, I smoke every day. I'm not getting dizzy for nothing.
Yeah.
She gives me it, and she gives me the other shit, and I'm like, sure as shit, I know it. Like, I'm not gonna get dizzy for anything.
Yeah.
I don't even feel this shit. As soon as I finish saying the T and shit, numbness went from the top of my head slowly all the way down to my feet, and I say, oh yeah, I say, now I know why she gave me that anti-nauseating shit. That shit is crazy, bro.
Wow.
Nuts.
What'd they give you?
It wasn't morphine because that's like a surgery drug, but it was like
Something like that.
it was strong shit. IV
numb
injected like heroin shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was probably the smallest amount
Yeah.
that you could possibly give somebody.
Probably wasn't heroin.
And I was like, oh my
yeah,
God.
you're slumped.
Felt like
You're-
$1,000,000.
Yeah, you just
I drove 70 way home.
You, you just melt. That's the scary thing about those compounds and those chemicals is like they're so euphoric in the moment, but then you get possessed by a demon, dude, and then it's just real hard to kick it.
And I only know what it's like to smoke
Scary.
cigarettes, and that's the best. Because I can never imagine if I really had a problem with something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
But-
so thankful I don't.
If you are listening to this crazy conversation still, thanks for being here. But if you learn anything from this, I think it's important to understand that everything you could ever possibly want, have, or need is inside of you. You can create your reality. You can heal your body with the power of your mind. You can create things into your life. Because magic's real. That form of magic.
Right, and I agree with that. I mean, I think that miracles happen.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a miracle. But I'll counter it with this. I don't think thinking negatively helps at all.
Absolutely not.
So it's like
It makes it worse.
yeah, like
Makes it worse.
I mean, the least you can do is just try to think positive. Really,
Yes.
It's so cliche, but the least you can do, just try to think positive. I mean, fuck, we all know life is shit to some degree, and we all know that there's things that come up that make it worse and you know, weigh on you and weigh on your soul, and whether you have a good life or not,
Yeah.
there's always that thing that, you know,
It's the balance.
burdens, because
It's
that's
the balance.
that's freaking life, you know.
Life is
So-
good always, for me at least. I got no complaints just because of my level of awareness and being comfortable with like.
Right, but you might have moments of trajectory doubt.
Absolutely.
And that's
We all
but
do.
That's what I'm saying. You might live a good life and then have these moments where, like, you know, you have a good life,
Yes.
and you know you're on the right track, but then you doubt yourself,
Right.
and then it becomes real.
Yeah.
And analyzing, and we talked in the last podcast about having an emotion come in and like
Observing.
observing it, but like loading it away in the bank, analyzing it and accepting it.
Yeah.
Whether it hurts you or not, accepting it and letting it go so that when that emotion comes back across, you already have it registered and you can move on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's important to what was I gonna say, dude?
I picked a bug bite. You know how that gets.
Yeah, man. Think for yourself. Do research. Maybe experiment with a few things are here and understand that when that life is always good no matter what. We're alive. We're healthy. It's a very exciting time to be alive. Shit does happen. Family members die. People get sick. Coronaviruses break out. Wildfires happen. But at the end of the day, like,
PP might be small.
yeah, PP might be real small. You know,
I have too big of boobs.
yeah, you might have a crappy job.
Or not enough.
Yeah. But like,
Crappy job. Car with no tire.
yeah. But life
Bike
is
with
good.
no chain.
Just be grateful for what you do have, man. Because when you do that and you don't complain and you switch to a positive perspective, the universe rewards you in more reasons to be grateful and to just enjoy life.
I never thought about this in school, but remember Steve Green with the glasses?
Yeah.
I mean, those glasses were broken just about every spot they could be broken.
Yeah.
And he still wore them from freshman to high school.
Yeah.
To senior year. And, I mean, I don't know if he appreciated the glasses, even though they were broken, whatever, or he couldn't get new glasses.
Yeah.
But he seemed to roll with it.
Yeah, man.
It didn't seem to bother him none. He just wore them every day.
No, man. Yeah.
You know?
It's
So what was his mindset on that? Could he not afford more? Could he afford more? Was he happy with it? Was he unhappy with it? What was it?
I know what you're trying to say. He didn't let the little small shit
I'd like to think
affect
that,
the outer.
but he might have gone home and been upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing.
Yeah.
Thinking. But it all comes back to the fact that there's so many different things that affect a present moment
Mm-hmm.
and future moments and past moments. It's like, it's so hard. Nothing that is said encapsulates everybody.
Correct.
There's always that outlier or that one person that has that, yeah, but on this day, this happened to me. I had that same exact life as you, except my dog ran away when I was 8 on August 10th and yours did it.
Mm.
And that person's going to have a different view on life just because that one moment, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
The
why
ripples
it's
that
like,
get sent out.
right. So like, I think, you know, cliche sayings are certain things that are universal.
Yes.
But they're so individualized at the same time.
Yeah.
Though. People overlook them because it's, everyone says that.
Yeah.
But it's like, but for you, it might be the best thing that's ever happened to you.
For sure.
This saying.
Like the saying, or you're the dog running away. Or
Yeah, so I got in trouble
happens,
at school.
getting fired.
And my dad said, this too shall pass. It's like, you know, you hear it all the time. And like, that's like, I always had these like two things. And one was like, it was sayings like, you know, if someone were to say like, what's something that your mom always said to you, or what's something that your dad always said to you?
Yeah.
I would say that my dad said that this too shall pass, and my mom always said to clean your fucking room.
No.
And
Oh man.
but no. But like that I needed that at the moment, and it's stereotypical, but it was meant for me at that time.
Yeah.
And I took it with a grain of salt. I could have been like, oh, screw that. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I felt like journaling with Miranda. Like I felt, you know, this would be a good time for me to take this advice.
Yeah.
And so I did, and it passed.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
sure
you're
enough,
right,
it
dude.
passed.
It's the cliche shit. My dad
So,
says it all the time.
You can never hear it enough because you never know when that moment is going to come across your board where you need that to just get you over the hump.
Yeah, man.
Because sometimes you just need that one person to say that one thing that clicks with you.
Mm-hmm.
But some people turn off, and they don't. They turn off before they even have the opportunity to hear. So you might tell them what they need to hear, and they might know what they need to hear, but they don't hear you say it.
Yeah.
So they move on because they're closed-minded.
Yeah.
And they're stuck in this repetitive rap because they're closed-minded,
Yep.
and they don't. The answers are right in front of them, but they're too self-centered to realize it. And there's people that are the nicest people in the world, but they're in that loop.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is, but you can change it. You can break out of those patterns, man.
And they know that, but they're too stuck. You know what I mean? It's almost like
It's
you're
ego.
You're falling with the toilet, man. You're just going down the chute.
Yeah.
Because you're just, you know, I'm just gonna ride this wave out until it's over. I don't even feel like trying to climb back up this shit. Even though it would only take you a week or 2 weeks, and you'd be over that hump, and you'd be like, oh, this is what the bathroom looks like. Oh,
Yeah.
I've been living in that toilet for fucking 10 years. Swampy in there.
I think to wrap it up, because I know you got to go.
I don't even. She's going to the liquor store, I think. So.
I think someone's celebrating their 21st birthday tonight. Happy birthday to Kaylee. We got a pop-up shop tomorrow. I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah, and tomorrow, as in September 12th,
Yeah.
2020. We don't know if this will go out.
Yeah,
or
this
when
will be
people
out.
See it,
Who knows?
If you missed it,
Next one.
then you got to
October
come to the
something.
next one in Follow Eric's page.
Yeah.
Onwards Collective.
Thanks, bro.
Infinite Rick.
Infinite Rick. Onwards. Keep moving forwards.
He'll post up when it's around the corner again. So
Yeah.
if you
I will.
have interest, you know, it's gonna be more.
I need an actual theme song. I keep saying that. Adam, thanks for being here, bro.
Appreciate
Good chat.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening, thanks for being here again. This was an interesting one.
Another spur of the moment. I mean, that's when the best stuff comes out.
Just keep going. Keep expanding your mind, learn new things, stay positive, and we'll see you next time.